Thanks for clarifying that and saying that out loud because I've always figured that, but it's good to hear you validate that too. Because yeah, he seems like he was already a narcissist, and if you look back at his early days, he already had traits of that well before Scientology, and then along comes Scientology, boosts up his ego, and then again, it would just add to his drive to do everything because they teach
Mhm.
you that you can be perfect.
Yeah.
So he's never getting out, man. And even if he did HG, like so he would, since he's a narcissist, he would just be using Scientology. In other words, what does he get out of it, right? For me, it was more like feeling guilty and this and that. It would be a different experience for a narcissist in a cult like that, wouldn't it? Because in order for him to extract himself, wouldn't it almost be impossible because he's getting so much out of it? He gets free slave
Absolutely.
labor, he gets
Well,
boosted up. I mean, he gets
it
everything.
it's telling him exactly what he wants to hear, namely,
Exactly.
"You are immortal. You are amazing." So,
Literally, yes.
although he already believes this, he's existing in an echo chamber,
Exactly.
and he it enables him to hold certain cachet within the organization as well because of his status, etc. So it's almost like he's met himself, and he's
Exactly.
saying to himself, "You're great. No, you're great. No, you're great. No, you're great."
So true.
The question as to will he ever get out, and I said no, because there's no actual need for him to do so, because it fits perfectly with what he is. It reinforces and tells him what he is. It tells him what he wants to hear. It, in a way, Scientology hasn't really had to seduce him.
Exactly. He seduced
He
himself.
yeah, he has gone there and basically you're the organization I've always been looking for because you fit with what I am. That's
E
why people
exactly.
like him run that organization in the first place.
Exactly.
That
Even
organization is an extension of their mindset and attitude.
and is there any way that Tom Cruise could a narcissist like him, would they have to remove something that was important to him? Would they have to cut him down some way? What would it take for him to actually get out of Scientology? Is there any chance of him breaking the spell if it doesn't become beneficial for him at some point?
It would only be where he would deem that the organization is of no further use to him.
I see.
So if he saw that it was not catering to his needs, then he would reject it because that would then amount to a threat to his need for control. But
Mhm.
at the moment, it does attune with precisely what he requires.
Yeah.
But if in some way they started to not provide him with what he required, cause him to have to do certain things which weren't in accordance with the prime aims, etc., it would not. If it, the narcissist only tolerates it where it serves the prime aims. If it doesn't,
Interesting.
then ultimately it'll be jettisoned.
This is a question I've been dying to ask you based on that. So this might be the difference between because I thought about this with my parents, my mother in particular.
Mm.
If she, who I consider a narcissist, and Tom Cruise, another narcissist, left Scientology, they wouldn't necessarily go through what I went through where I felt bad. I had to be brought down to size. I had to deprogram myself. Wow, look at my behavior. I thought all these false ideas that were boosting up my ego, and actually none of these ideas turned out to be true. If Tom Cruise extracted himself, it would be a different experience, would it not? Like he would say, something's wrong with Scientology. I'm leaving because David Miscavige didn't give me the power that I thought I had. In other words, it would be self-serving. He wouldn't sit there and have a breakdown and go,
Oh,
"Oh, wow, I
absolutely.
abandoned my kid. I should." He would never self-introspect, right?
No, I mean he
Wow.
might say, for instance, "Goodness me, how awful." Well, I don't think he would, but somebody else might say, for instance, "I abandoned my child. How terrible!" But that's what Scientology made me do, i.e., immediate
I
blame
see.
shifting.
I
It
see.
wasn't.
He wouldn't take
It wasn't
responsibility.
my fault. In some instances, it would simply be, "No, what a ridiculous organisation." And of course, many people that come out the other side, what they have to do is demonstrate that, "Oh gosh, I was indoctrinated," and so forth. Now, that is true, that is the case, but
Mhm.
where a narcissistic psychopath comes out the other side of it, would basically turn around and say, "Yeah, it was the organization was the problem, not me."
Exactly.